Hello and welcome back to Billy Ho Sports. Today's focus is leg 2 of the Triple Crown Pimlico Racetrack Preakness Stakes. And yes, even though we don't have a Kentucky Derby winner who's sitting this one out, we still have a really tough group of 3-year-olds. The post draw is going to be on Monday, so we're going to go ahead and get the jump on them and go through the most likely entries. We got plenty of them to go through. We'll take a look at the road that they've taken to this point, watching race replays and analysis and all that kind of good stuff. I have my eye on a couple of longer shots in this one, so could be interesting. Stick around for that. Also, we're going to do a split the pot contest where everybody that comments on the recent videos, including this one, will go into a draw. We'll spin the wheel, and the winner of the draw will get to split a $20 bet that I'll pay for on the Preakness, and we'll maybe do a little negotiating on how the bet will be placed. And to be eligible, you must be a subscriber, first and foremost. It's free. It's easy to do. So do that first. Click that subscribe button. Click the like while you're at it. And the comment below, use hashtag BHS for Billy Ho Sports if you want to participate. And just give me who you like to win the Preakness in this one, and we'll get it started here. And we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to do a Mythbusters here right away. The Preakness is 1 mile and 3/16 around the dirt. They say that Pimlico's track has those narrow turns. You'll hear about it. Narrow turns. You better be on the inside. It is a speed favoring track, but the narrow turns is a myth. The home stretch is what's narrower, and it gives the illusion that there's tight turns. So when they round that far turn, and even the way they harrow and rake the track, the dirt off to the side is narrower, so it just appears like it's real tight. So anyway, but the home stretch is 80 feet shorter than it is at Churchill Downs, so it is a little bit shorter of a stretch drive, which makes a difference. So we're going to start with Rodriguez from Bob Baffert, probably Mike Smith riding again. The unfortunate miss in the Kentucky Derby, actually, I think could be a blessing. I think this race is going to set up even better for Mike Smith to send him fast. Actually, in my opinion, I think Bob Baffert was the one that decided to scratch, not the vets. So I think maybe it was a tactical move. He maybe saw the weather forecast, 20-horse field, speed's not going to hold. I got Bull on the inside. He's my chance. If I play my cards right, I send this kid to the Preakness and we'll roll. So Bob knows how to pick his spots. Obviously, Rodriguez went through that California circuit where he's gone up against journalism and Barnes and all the Citizen Bulls of the world and has fared very well. The Wood Memorial winner, where he went right to the lead and went wire to wire fashion, running a really strong race. He repeats that performance. He's going to be in very good shape. So Rodriguez amongst my top choices. River Thames is trained by Todd Pletcher, runner up to the Derby winner's Sovereignty in the Fountain of Youth, and then held on for third, or closed for third. I shouldn't say held on because he was coming, but he came from off the pace. He's got that tactical speed which fits the Pimlico race. It's not just pure, wire to wire winners happen a lot, especially in the mile and a 16th type races. But this time around, it's going to be him coming from off the pace, and that speed to make that mid race move sometimes is what benefits you the most. So he fought with Burnham Square and East Avenue in the Bluegrass and just didn't have enough. Missed it by a half a length. I think he's coming in very fresh. Going to be a definite threat. Another one, kind of a new shooter, so to speak, is Clever Again, and that's from the Steve Asmussen barn. Won the Hot Springs Stakes, defeated Gaming, Bob Baffert's horse, who ran pretty well in the Pat Day Mile. I give him credit for that. He did run second to the Macho Music, who just blew them all away. But that race was never in doubt going up against those horses at Hot Springs, Arkansas at Oaklawn Park. He took to the lead, and Jose was doing the underneath check back, the look back, going, is there anybody going to challenge me, or do I just got this? And so he just took that. And Oaklawn has been a very speed favoring track over this winter spring meet. So he could definitely roll him up if he gets the opportunity. Now, a little bit of an unknown, I'd say, is Heart of Honor, and that's trained by Jamie Osborne. He came over from the UAE Derby and fought like a wildcat down the stretch against Admire Daytona, come back for second and just lost a head bob. And I mean, literally, it could have gone either way. This one's sired by Honor AP and has a record of 2 wins, 4 seconds, and 6 starts. Never worse than second in any race. So he should be well into the double digits odds wise. And I think a pretty good look. My first long shot thought for underneath exotics. So Heart of Honor is one that's going on the radar. American Promise is coming back. Dwayne Lucas. This one might just be a real good spot for his young Justify colt for just a tick shorter race. Got the maybe a dry track. We don't really know what the weather's going to be, but if he gets a dry track and a fast track, it could be similar to his Virginia Derby run. Nick Juarez, solid jock. I got to give him some credit, but his lack of Derby experience did cost him a little bit. But breaking out of the gate in the Kentucky Derby, when Citizen Bull and Martin Garcia made that big sweeping move to the right out of the gate and just bull rushed everybody, he did a great job of just brushing that off and getting right to the rail right away and started saving ground immediately. But I think he got a little bit too impatient when he was about just past, probably just before the 3/4 pole, but after the half-mile pole. He tried to split up between Neo Equos and Citizen Bull. And I think he just went a little too soon because then he had to push back and he fell back. And then he just kind of just died out, faded away after that. But he may have been done by then anyway. So anyway, ultimately, American Promise, a shorter distance, a faster track could be just what he needs. Obviously, we got to talk journalism from Mike McCarty. Umberto Rispoli couldn't have done a better job. I questioned his not skills wise, but his tactical aggression, so to speak. And he couldn't have rode that horse any better. He put him in position to win the Kentucky Derby down the stretch and was just outkicked by a better horse that day. But one thing I will say about Rispoli, he took his foot off the gas a little bit too early, closing that second place finish out and almost got clipped by Baeza. So I'm sure he was probably had words. Mike McCarty is a man of few words, but I'm sure he had a couple. Don't do it again, maybe one of them. So all the physical tools, obviously the breeding and everything's there. Done it on the grade 1 stage already. So journalism is going to be probably a huge favorite going into the race. We all know that. But how about another horse coming in off of the last prep, the Lexington Stakes at Keeneland? That was Gusker, and that's trained by Brendan Walsh. Looked pretty good in that race. Came from off the pace. Took out Praetor, who was the big heavy favorite that day. Nice stalking trip, but he beat 25-1 Longshot Bracket Buster, which I guess Bracket Buster ran a hell of a good race. But the rest of the horses seem to be fading away, and he just kind of closed hard and cleared by 2 lengths. So I'm not really sure what we're working with just yet on Gosker, but just want to keep an eye on. Another one I kind of know what we're working with is Bullard. That's Mike McCarty's other horse. And I'm getting the feeling that this one's just not that good, Bob. He did defeat Madicket Road going 7 furlongs in the Bob Hope grade 1 winner to his credit, but he rode the coattails of horses like Barnes, Romanesque, and during the West Coast swing, so to speak, in the fall of a 2-year-old season. And then the poor guy had to scratch out with a fever, and then that piss poor effort in the Lexington where Rispoli was doing everything but getting off his horse and smacking him in the face trying to get him going, and he couldn't run his way out of a wet paper bag. So I'm definitely, that's a complete toss for me. So I might look like an idiot if he does well, but he hasn't shown me jack so far. All right, let's get to the one that's the most important horse of the whole race, Pay Billy. So Mike Gorham trains this horse. He is sired by Improbable. Improbable won the 2020 Whitney Stakes and then was runner-up in the Breeders' Cup Classic. So pretty good breeding there. Gutsy performance in the Federico Tessio Stakes at Laurel Park, which is the prep win and you're in for the Preakness. So he fought hard for that win, deserves his ticket. Wasn't really all that great of fields. I believe Surfside Moon ran second in that race. Mid to Longshot in the Peter Pan. Then you had sorry ass Studley Do Right, who's been seems like he runs in all these races, but hasn't done anything since like Nom. But anyway, never made it. So I don't really care. I'm putting win place show money on this horse regardless, and probably play underneath and just see what happens because I love the horse. I haven't had a good Billy horse since Free Drop Billy back in the day. So we always like horses named after us. So let's go. All right, another one, goal oriented. This is the other Bob Baffert horse that's coming over. He's 2 for 2, the young colt by Not This Time. Took him to task on Derby Day. We all saw it in the third race in the slop, going 8.5 furlongs, where he went right to the lead and just cruise control. Set some honest fractions too. So if you're bringing one, why not bring two? You never know. This horse pops, and it's another Bob. It's the other Bob Baffert horse. Look out for it. So anyway, there's a couple other ones that are I'm tentative on. I think Caldera could go for D. Wayne Lucas. I'm not really sure. 100% committal on that one. We'll find out more. But the second in the Sunland Derby was good. Faded terribly in the Louisiana Derby. Then ran second in the Bathhouse Row Stakes. So probably could have won that race. Bejarano was closing hard, but then he nearly ran him right up the wazoo of the 3-horse and then had to redirect and then closed. But I don't think he would have beat Instant Replay anyway, because Instant Replay was the like 4-5 chalk favorite in that race. Definitely strong horse. That's out of the Brad Cox barn. And if you're wondering why isn't he running? I don't know. I haven't heard any word from the Cox barn, but I do know he has not had a work since the April 19th victory. So that's highly unlikely that this horse is just going to, if he's that fit, maybe he does run, he has a work this weekend and then goes. I don't know. Maybe he puts him on the track. We'll see. But usually if they haven't worked by now, they're not going to that race. They're saving them for later in the summer. So just to sum things up a little bit, obviously journalism would be a huge morning line favorite. I'll absolutely be trying to beat him like I did last time. My first choice, Rodriguez, would be probably going to be everybody's first choice, second choice, kind of a 1-1A situation again. I really like the setup for this. Like I said, I think maybe Bob just went air on the side of caution with him in the scratching out of the Derby. So he knows how to pick his spots. Clever again is the other speed horse, obviously, that has my attention. Not always wire-to-wire speed gets it done in this race. So you got tactical speed like River Thames, and American Promise can show some tactical speed too. Heart of Honor, Pay Billy, all have their shot. So we will know more. And I'll have a follow-up right after Monday's post position draw. We can break down how it affects my picks. And so be sure to subscribe, stay tuned. And this is your preview. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.